Old Nintendo Gamer.
And son.
So a big topic of the week is that the Game Awards have released their nominations for 2020. Yes, this is going to be an online-only affair, but it is going to be held in 3 locations, apparently, as they're recording them. And the nominations, out of all, I think there's 26 categories I counted, it could be more. Nintendo have 5 nominations, or nominated in 5 of the categories. It has been a rather lean year for Nintendo this year, Nick.
Very lean. But I still think they're going to walk away with a few.
Right, which we're going to go through the majority of these anyway. There's a couple of, I think, I'll tell it as we go at the end. Something infuriated me, and I'll tell you later. So the first nomination here was Game of the Year. And I've highlighted in green games that are either published by Nintendo, made by Nintendo, or at least have appeared on Nintendo Switch this year. And Animal Crossing New Horizons is up against Hades, which also appeared on the Switch, but it's also up against Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us Part 2. Greg, what's winning Game of the Year there?
I'm hoping it's going to be The Last of Us Part 2, because I'm hoping it's going to be a great game that I'm going to enjoy over the next few weeks. I think it's the game that probably stands out the most to me there, but like, I wonder if Animal Crossing could somehow sneak it. I hope not.
As the kind of zeitgeist of COVID-19 locked in your house. Yeah. Nick, your thoughts on the Game of the Year?
Yeah, I think Animal Crossing is going to win this. I think it's captured too many hearts and minds and sold 27 million copies. And I think all the streamers and kids are going to be really upset if it doesn't win. And you know who Keighleys got to appeal to keep his audience. To be honest, I think this is actually one of the strongest lineups for Game of the Year in quite a long time. I really, really want to play Final Fantasy VII, and I really want to play Ghost of Tsushima. Everything I've heard about that game has been really, really good. Like, Last of Us 2 had quite a lot of negative press and attention and reviews. Not negative reviews, but people said it wasn't as good as the first one.
I've managed to stay away from spoilers on it.
Yeah.
Because I know there is supposed to be something in this story that has hit people up the wrong way, and I've purposely not went near it because I don't want to know.
That's what a good story does. A good story makes you feel, and if it makes you feel angry because something has happened to a certain character or whatever, because I don't know either what's happened, then wonderful storytelling. What are you getting angry about it for? Anyway.
Yeah, to be honest, that's one of the reasons why I went for it now, because it's on sale on the PlayStation Network for around £30. I thought, hey, if I leave it another 6 months or something, yeah, maybe will be cheaper again, like, because like Sony games and whatever don't hold their value the same way as Nintendo games do. Like, so I could probably get cheaper, but like, I don't want to have that spoiled on me, so it's like, right, I'm gonna get it now and see what it's all about, and I'm really excited to see what happens.
Cool. I can see Animal Crossing, Ghost of Tsushima, or The Last of Us Part 2 taking it, but I personally, I'd say The Last of Us will pip the other two.
Final Fantasy VII Remake also has a good chance, because I think that, again, was very, very highly praised from all quarters. I think if I had to make a prediction, I probably will go with Ghost of Tsushima. And if not,
Greg said Last of Us as well.
If not, Animal Crossing. I think everything else is very strong in that list, but I think it's going to be a popularity play. In which case, Animal Crossing.
That doesn't through the Game Awards doesn't heavily factor into players voting.
Players voting
as well.
And also journalists.
I can't see the Animal Crossing crowd actually finding not the time because they play in Animal Crossing, but having the nuance and like the depth of gameplay to know that this Games Award is happening and to go and vote for it. I think that might account against its favour.
Maybe.
But I think the internet will melt down if Animal Crossing won as well, which should be a nice thing to see. I think there'll be a lot of angry PlayStation 4 fans out there. So moving on to the second category, which was Best Game Direction. Nothing from Nintendo, but Hades, which obviously is on Nintendo Switch, is up against Final Fantasy VII, Ghost of Tsushima again, Half-Life Alyx, which was snubbed for Best Game of the Year, and The Last of Us Part 2 again. Nick, what's the winner out of that one?
I have no
Best
idea.
Game Direction.
What does it mean, game direction? Is that like art style?
Does that?
Oh no,
does
art
that mean
direction
like
is
the
next.
director, or yeah?
I don't know.
You know.
I haven't played any of those games. I've played Hades for 3 hours, 2 hours, so I can't say. No idea.
No, me neither. Not, and to be honest, it doesn't really matter. Game of the Year is where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
Greg?
Yeah, I haven't played any of those games either. Like, part of me wants to try out Final Fantasy VII Remake because obviously it doesn't stick to the turn-based combat of the original one. So, yeah, I think it might be an interesting way to experience at least the first portion of the Final Fantasy VII story. But yeah, Best Game Direction, I genuinely don't really know what that means either. But I sort of equate it a wee bit with what
basically means if you didn't win Game of the Year, we'll give it to the other one that could have got Game of the Year by the sounds of it.
Yeah, that's it. It's like in my head, it's more like equated to what I sort of spoke about with The Last of Us, just the cinematic experience and the way it's all pieced together so far. Yeah.
So there we go then. Animal Crossing for the Game of the Year and Last of Us for the Best Direction. Best Narrative. So this is the story now. So not how they piece it together, but the story itself. And it's all the same again. Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us Part 2, and Hades is there as well. I got nothing to say about that either.
Again,
there's quite a few of them.
Again, I'm hoping it's The Last of Us.
I reckon, The Last of Us probably. Because, it's heavily based around the story, isn't it?
Yes.
So.
Yeah, I know Ghost of Tsushima is more of a hands-off affair, isn't it? And working your way through it as a third-person fighting game. Best Art Direction, Hades on a Nintendo Switch platform, and Ori and the Will of the Wisps are up against the three big juggernauts, Final Fantasy VII, Ghost of Tsushima, and The Last of Us 2. Is there any way one of those indie darlings could win this, Nick?
Possibly either of them. I think they both have good art direction. But I think, for me personally, Ghost of Tsushima should take this because that game looks absolutely stunning. I love the art style in that game. So that would be my vote.
That's what I think will win as well. Although, to speak about it again, what I've played of The Last of Us so far, I'm just playing it on a standard PS4. It's not like the Pro or anything, and it looks really good too.
I do like Ghost of Tsushima. Some of the photo modes, pictures that people have taken, it's just absolutely spellbinding. I'm thinking imagine a Zelda game looking like that. Brilliant. Best Score and Music is the next one, and the same two again, Hades and Ori and the Will of the Wisps for Switch consoles, but I did highlight Doom Eternal here because it is coming to the Switch now, we know. Doom Eternal's there for Best Score and Music. I hope that wins just for us rockheads out there. Final Fantasy VII Remake is up there as well as The Last of Us. Ghost of Tsushima. Ooh, soundtrack, not so good, huh? What's winning that one, Greg?
Oh, I have no idea what the soundtrack's like in any of the games. All I know is I've played a little bit of the guitar in The Last of Us within the first 40 minutes. Which is pretty cool.
Cool.
I think Final Fantasy should win this for the remake of the what's it called? The battle theme alone. Unbelievably good.
But Doom, come on, Doom. I'm for voting for that. Have you voted, by the way? Have you gone online and actually voted? No,
I'm not going to because
last year.
I'll vote in one or two categories. Game of the year, I'll probably vote for Animal Crossing. Why? Because I've played it. The rest of them I haven't played. So.
And I'm afraid to do it as well because apparently every time you do it, it tells you on Twitter. You get a Twitter flash up going, "Hey, you voted for this," and it's I don't want to fill my Twitter feed full up of 26 Game of the Year awards. Best audio design. So we've got best score and music. Now we've got best audio design, putting the music together into the game basically, and directing the music into the game. Doom Eternal, Half-Life Alyx, Ghost of Tsushima is I suppose it's got more of a subtle score, Japanese kind of flutes and all that. Resident Evil 3 and The Last of Us Part 2. Once again, big up for Doom Eternal there for me, even though I haven't heard the soundtrack. Moving on.
Yeah.
Best performance. This is for an actual person that performed a role. I suppose you were looking at either Ellie or Abby there, Greg, from The Last of Us Part 2, Ashley Johnson and Laura Bailey, respectively. And then Daisuke Tsuji as Jin Sakai from the Ghost of Tsushima. Logan Cunningham as Hades. That's the father figure in Hades, obviously, as Hades. And Naji Jetta as Miles Morales from Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is an unusual inclusion because they've added him for that, but not Spider-Man for the Game of the Year. Is it just because it's an expansion, maybe, Nick?
I don't know. But I can say the voice acting in Hades is very good, as you would expect from Supergiant.
Yeah.
I don't think it's quite as good as the narrator in Bastion, though. That would
He's
be my
a standout,
take.
isn't he?
Yeah, that's like really exceptional. In Hades, though, he's very good. He's very well acted, and the dialogue's good. Sometimes it's quite funny. So far, at least, anyway. First couple of hours.
Greg, The Last of Us Part 2 taking on another one.
I guess I'll discover that, but I'm hoping that the performances are going to be enjoyable for the next 20 odd hours.
Games for Impact is next. I don't know what this is, but it looks like it's some indie darling thing where Best Indie is later down the list as well. So this is an extra category for some smaller games. If found, Kentucky Route Zero TV Edition, which is on the Switch, Spiritfarer, which is on the Switch, Tell Me Why, and Through the Darkest of Times. I'm still looking to pick up that Kentucky Route Zero for Switch, Nick.
What's that about? I've not even seen it. I know the name, but I've not seen the game. Is it a horse racing game?
No. It's more of a point-and-click adventure, but it's really weird, and it's about an underground survivors after something's happened to the Earth. But it's got 5 parts to it, which were spread out on PC over 4 or 5 years, and the last part recently came out, and then they released the complete edition, basically, for the Switch, the TV edition.
I've not played any of these. I've heard of Tell Me Why, but I can't make a comment, to be honest. I'm slowly losing touch with the gaming industry, I think.
We're going through the darkest of times.
We are. We're going on to Best Ongoing Game, and Fortnite is in there. It is the darkest of times. It's still ongoing, Greg. Is Fortnite going to beat Apex Legends this year?
Oh, I couldn't care less.
Nick?
I really hope No Man's Sky wins this. Because I despise Battle Royale games so much. Especially Fortnite. So, No Man's Sky, I think maybe it's not the best ongoing game, but apparently they've completely turned it around from the disaster that it was when it released. And I have got it on PC. I think I've played for about 3 hours a couple of years ago, and it didn't really grab me. But I know it's one of those games that as you put more time into it, it gets better and better, supposedly. So I think it's going to be a slow burner for me.
Best indie games, Carrion, Hades, and Spiritfarer from the Switch. And they are pitted against Fall Guys and Spelunky 2. Hades is a very, very good chance of picking that up. And Carrion, while yes, I do want to play it and want to pick it up, I think you have, Nick. I don't think it's in the same category as Hades, really, is it?
I would say no, probably. I wouldn't be surprised if Fall Guys won this, though, because it just, again, like Animal Crossing, it captured the public conscience, didn't it, for a while? It was very, very big. And
2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I played a few games of it, and it's okay, but it gets very, very boring after a couple of hours. And it's quite frustrating to play as well, so...
Yeah, I didn't even play it as much as a couple of hours, and yes, I see what they're going for, but I don't think it's a very good game.
No, me neither.
Which is the big problem there. Yes, it could win this because, like everybody, like you say, did sort of talk about it for a few weeks at least. But I think Hades is going to take it because I hear everybody mention about how great it is, and I haven't even looked into why it's good. But yeah, I think that'll take it easily.
Here's an unusual one. Best mobile game. Pokemon Cafe Mix is in there, along with Among Us, which is the game that took all the attention away from Fall Guys, and now it's all on Among Us, and it still is. Call of Duty Mobile, Genshin Impact, and Legends of Runeterra. Pokemon Cafe Mix, Greg, has no chance.
I think they've all got notions. I think Among Us will take it as well, but I don't really have a clue about any of those games, in truth.
Genshin Impact is that Zelda, they say Zelda Breath of the Wild clone, isn't it? But free to play.
Mm-hmm. It looks terrible.
Right. Best community support? I'm going to skip this. Apex Legends and Fortnite. Because I highlight Apex Legends because that is still coming to the Switch in 2021, even though it's been delayed. Innovation in assembly. Then we got a best VAR, AR, which doesn't affect us in the slightest. But would you like to talk about VR and AR, boys?
There's nothing. I've not played anything on that list.
I would love to play Star Wars Squadrons in VR.
Yeah.
That would be quite a ride.
I have been looking into PlayStation VR, actually, recently, because I kind of figured that it would be down in price a bit, because like a couple of years ago I started looking into it and I was like, you could get like a good sort of like starter set, like the headset and a few games for like £200 or maybe just under it. I can't find any deals anywhere near as good as that now. Like I'm seeing like starter set with just like one game or whatever, £250. It's like, right, maybe I've missed the boat on being able to jump in here, because it's something I would like to try. And like people say Half-Life Alyx is pretty good there, so that's one that would maybe be nice to try. I don't know if it's even on PS4, but there's a few PS4 games that I would like to try in VR, but the price is too high for me to sort of experiment with it.
The next one, Best Action. There's a game here which I think both of you and myself would like to see win. And the Best Action up against it is Doom Eternal, Hades, Half-Life Alyx, and Nier 2 from Team Ninja. It's Streets of Rage 4. That would be a nice hark back to... But I can see Hades winning this one as well. But I would love to see Streets of Rage 4 win it. Greg?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to win. Like, and it's one of those games, like, it came out earlier in the year, so it's it's lost the mind share of people really now. Like, people played it and probably loved it. Like I know I did, and Nick really enjoyed it as well. But it's probably going to go to like Hades or Doom or something like that. Yeah, I would love to see it win actually, because it's brilliant.
Nick?
Yeah, I think it's probably going to end up with, for me, Streets of Rage 4 is probably going to be my game of the year. And I would like it to win something, get some recognition. But probably Hades will take it.
This for me is highlighting Nintendo's year. You got Best VAR, yeah, okay, of course, VR, nothing on Nintendo. Best Action, nothing from Nintendo. Best Action Adventure, nothing from Nintendo. Best Role-Playing Game, nothing from Nintendo. Best Fighting Game, nothing from Nintendo. Games that have appeared on Nintendo platforms, but nothing there, Best Fighting, Mortal Kombat 11, yes, and Under Night In-Birth X, Late Clear R, and they made by Arc System Software. Yes, that's on Nintendo Switch, but there's nothing. So we're going to move on now to the one that does. And every year is dominated. I think in 2019, it was all Nintendo games in this category. This year, it's got two titles which are fighting against it, which are not on Nintendo platforms yet. The Best Family category has Animal Crossing, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, Minecraft Dungeons, yes, that's a multi-platform, and Paper Mario The Origami King. And they pit it against titles that are not on Switch, Crash Bandicoot 4 and Fall Guys. Animal Crossing easily here, Nick.
I think so. I don't really know how Mario Kart Live Home is a family game. Because if you have a family and you want to play together, that's going to be £200 or £300 you've got to put down on it to get the extra carts at least. What is it? 100 for the game and one cart, isn't it?
For the game and a cart.
And how much is another one?
Yeah, it's a full 100. You got to buy the entire set once again. So you can buy Mario, Luigi, and if you want to buy 4, because there's 4 Switches in your house and 4 people,
ludicrous.
That's £400.
Not very many families can play that game then. Yeah, I would say Animal Crossing probably will take it. Because it can actually be played together as a family, and Origami King can't. So I don't know why
not
that's
easily,
there. Not easily, yeah.
Yeah, the Origami King is just because it's cute and colourful. That's it, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
There's no other reason. Greg, what's winning that category?
I would say obviously Animal Crossing, but like this category kind of confused me a wee bit, because like a family game to me is one that you can all sort of like play together. So you sort of think like multiplayer games, like 4-player, all sitting around the TV having a laugh, like Mario Party or whatever. Paper Mario the Origami King is a single player experience, so it looks like they're sort of like family game is really, they're saying like child friendly games really. The two there that are not out on the Switch, Crash Bandicoot 4 and Fall Guys, I think will appear on the Switch at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, Animal Crossing, I'll take that one.
Good. And then we got, once again, Nintendo dropping the ball. No sim or strategy games. No sports games except, not from Nintendo themselves, but NBA 2K21 is there. Pitted alongside FIFA 21.
Not a chance.
Nick, this has got to be the year of F1 2020. Come on.
I would have
Has
said
that ever won a best sports?
I would have said that, and it is a fantastic F1 game. But I think Tony Hawk's 1 and 2 will take
Tony
that,
Hawk's,
and it should, because it's been too long. It's been too
It's
long.
an exceptional remake, Greg.
Yeah, it's good. I'll not be FIFA 21.
Oh, let me imagine if it was. Best multiplayer, which we said is what the best family was. Best multiplayer, Animal Crossing New Horizons. Really? Best multiplayer? You can't play on... Can you play on one TV and have two people on the screen at the same time?
Up
You
to
can?
4,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I apologise then. I thought it was you needed a separate Switch for some reason. No?
It's...
Okay, then you...
Yeah, it's possible, but I don't think it's great.
The camera basically follows the
main
island
person,
representative around, and you're stuck tethered to that screen with them. Yeah. And they don't make it easy to get into a game either as multiplayer, Greg.
I have no idea. But I was just sort of looking at that list there and thinking like Nintendo have been like the kings of like quality multiplayer games, getting the family together and stuff over the years, and Animal Crossing is the only one there for the Switch this year. It's just, it kind of highlights how poor a year it's been, really.
Best debut game, not poor for these people. Carrion, Rajian, Ancient Epic, and Roki are all Switch games, but they're up against Mortal Shell and Phasmophobia, which I've never heard of, which is from Kinetic Games. Then, why was I angry earlier on? I'm not angry, I'm just... why there's 26 categories and 6 of them are based around best esports of some variety. And the one that really topped it off for me was best esports athlete. Because the workout you get from playing esports is comparable to something someone does, like the 100-meter runners. Athlete.
I don't know, would you call a darts player an athlete? A snooker player an athlete? A golfer an athlete?
No.
Really?
I wouldn't call it, no, not an athlete. I call him a player.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's based around the idea that you put in thousands of hours of training. Effort to get there. But that's it, like, esports is big money, that's why. Got to follow the money, chase the money. Absolutely zero interest from me. The only reason I'm going to watch the Game Awards is in the hope that we get a Metroid Prime 4 trailer. or a Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. I'm going to skip through everything and just hopefully watch some news from Nintendo. And some other big announcements.
I watched the Game Awards last year and it was advert.
Yeah,
Jeff Keighleys standing in front and going, this game won this one, this game won this one, no pomp and circumstance, and then advert. It's like, surely, with all that money thrown at the Game Awards, you could get a better presentation, something on the big screen to announce these things, or someone walk on and just go, hey, it's been a good year for indies, this is the best indie. No, just Jeff Keighley announcing them, apart from the big ones when they had Vin Diesel and that Michelle Rodriguez come on to announce their new game and the best game. I can't see that they do anything better this year.
I know why you're annoyed. There's no old Nintendo gamers on Content Creator of the Year.
That's it. The name of this podcast is... What's the name of this podcast? Award a surprise. That's right. Give a surprise. Best content creator, Alana Pierce, apparently. So look out for that.
She's not even a content creator anymore. She's gone to work for Sony Santa Monica.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, God of War studio on it. Yeah. Do you have anything else to add, boys, or tell Jeff Keighley?
Don't watch the Game Awards. That's my advice. Ignore it, and it'll go away.
I won't be watching it. But I will. No. I will keep an eye out to see, like Nick, to see what the Nintendo presentation bit is, what they reveal. I have a feeling it might be Bayonetta 3, and I will not care in the slightest.
I will care quite a lot. I'm looking forward to seeing more of that.
Once burned, twice shy. I watched all of it last year.
Don't do that.
And nothing from Nintendo.
No, we didn't.
So I'm
there
not
was
holding my
wasn't there
breath
like
this year.
a small trailer of something, wasn't there? But it wasn't the
Yeah,
big,
in the
like-
middle of
it was
something. Yeah, it
Bravely
was-
Default 2 was announced.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Not massive, I suppose, is it?
No, and something I wasn't interested in either. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give us a like if you've enjoyed our content. You can also check out our other great content on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and the N-E Café podcast from all good podcast providers. Just follow the links in the description below.